Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Before you scroll, pause for a moment. Have you ever woken up at 3 a.m., not because of an alarm, not because of noise, but for no clear reason? The room is dark, the world is silent, your phone isn't buzzing, everyone is asleep. Yet somehow, your heart feels awake. There's something different about that hour. It doesn't feel ordinary. It feels honest, raw, almost like your soul has been gently called. In that silence when no one is watching and no one expects anything from you. What if you whispered just 4 words? La ilaha illa Allah. Not loudly, not perfectly, just sincerely. What would happen inside your heart? Tonight, I want to talk to you, not as a lecturer, not as a scholar, but as someone who has felt that 3 a.m. silence and discovered something deeply personal in it. Stay with me. It's 3 a.m. The world feels paused, not asleep, paused. The street outside your window is empty, no passing cars, no distant conversations. Even the wind seems softer, like it doesn't want to disturb the moment. The darkness isn't heavy, it's calm. Inside your room, the air feels different, cooler, still. The only sound you notice is the faint ticking of a clock, or maybe your own heartbeat. In the daytime, you never hear it, but now, in this silence, it feels louder, closer, more real. Your phone lies untouched, no notifications, no messages, no noise fighting for your attention. For once, the world is not asking anything from you. And in that rare stillness, something unexpected happens. Your thoughts slow down. The mask you wear during the day begins to fade. The pressure to perform, to impress, to keep up, disappears. At 3 a.m., you are not your job, not your status, not your mistakes. You are just a soul in a quiet room. And somehow, in that silence, it feels like Allah is closer than ever. When we say, La ilaha illa Allah, we often translate it simply, there is no God but Allah. But at 3 a.m., it feels deeper than a translation. It feels like a confrontation. La ilaha. There is no God. Not just idols of stone, not ancient statues, but the hidden gods we build inside our own lives. The fear of losing people, the obsession with money, the need for approval, the anxiety about the future, the guilt from the past. Sometimes without realizing it, we bow to these things every day. We let them control our emotions. We let them define our worth. We let them decide our peace. Then comes Ilaha, Allah. Accept Allah. It's not just a statement, it's a release. It's like breaking invisible chains one by one. You're saying, my fear is not my master. My past is not my Lord. People's opinions are not my God. Only Allah. At 3 a.m., when you whisper these words slowly, they stop being a slogan and start becoming a surrender. You feel the weight of La ilaha, as if everything false is being stripped away from your heart. And then, Illa Allah enters like light filling an empty room. It's not loud, it's not dramatic, but it's powerful. Because in that moment, you're not just reciting a phrase, you're choosing who truly owns your heart. When we speak about the inner reality of Dhikr, many spiritual teachers described it not as repetition, but as transformation. Among those who reflected deeply on the inner life of the heart was Ibn Arabi. He didn't reduce remembrance to sound. For him, true dhikr was awareness. It was a shift in how you see yourself and how you see Allah's presence in your life. At 3 a.m., when you whisper La ilaha illa Allah, something subtle begins to change. According to the spiritual understanding inspired by Ibn Arabi's teachings, the heart is like a mirror. Over time, that mirror becomes covered, not by dirt you can see, but by distractions, ego, pride, fear, and constant noise. Dhikr is the polishing, not once, not twice, but consistently. Every sincere repetition gently wipes the surface, and when the heart becomes clearer, it begins to reflect truth more purely. You start seeing reality differently, you react differently, you feel differently. But here is the deeper part. Dhikr is not about informing Allah of His oneness. Allah does not need our reminders. Dhikr is about reminding ourselves. When you say, La ilaha illa Allah at 3 a.m., alone in the dark, you are not performing for anyone. There is no audience, no validation, no applause. That sincerity, that hidden moment, is what gives the words weight. Ibn Arabi often emphasized that spiritual realization is not about collecting information. It is about tasting presence. You don't just understand truth intellectually. You experience it internally. And perhaps that is why the night feels different. The world's noise lowers so the heart's awareness can rise. At that hour, Dhikr is no longer a ritual you inherited. It becomes a conversation, a returning, a remembering of who you truly belong to. Not a dramatic miracle, not a sudden vision, but a quiet, steady awakening of the heart. Have you ever felt that no matter how much you pray, nothing seems to change? That the du'as you whisper feel like they vanish into the air, unheard, untouched, unanswered? That empty space inside your chest, the one you try to fill with work, people, distractions. Nothing sticks. You're not alone. Many of us have been there. Sometimes it hits strongest at night. The world is asleep, but your mind refuses to rest. The heart that seems so calm during the day now churns with worry. The mistakes of the past, the fear of the future, the insecurities you hide even from yourself. It feels unbearable, and in those moments you might whisper, almost in desperation, Allah, I need you. But the echo feels faint, like it's swallowed by darkness. And then comes the hardest part, doubt. Am I enough? Do my prayers even matter? Have I strayed too far? Your soul feels heavy, your spirit exhausted, your eyes tired of crying. You begin to question the path itself, even though deep down you know it's the only truth that ever brought peace. It's here, in this darkness, that the human heart experiences its greatest test. Because pain like this is intimate. No one sees it. No one feels it for you. Not even your closest friend, and yet it is profoundly personal. A raw encounter with the self. This is why 3 a.m. Dhikr is transformative. It doesn't erase pain immediately. It doesn't promise an instant miracle. What it does is quietly witness your struggle. When you whisper, La ilaha illa Allah in that solitude, the words enter not just your lips, but your being. They seep into the cracks where doubt and fear have been hiding. Slowly, almost imperceptibly, they remind you of the one who never abandoned you, the one whose presence doesn't depend on your perfection, your achievements, or your understanding. It is in this vulnerability, the sleepless nights, the silent tears, the whispered prayers that no one else hears, that the heart begins to awaken. Pain becomes the doorway. The emptiness becomes the space where divine presence can settle. And the struggle you thought was meaningless starts to carry meaning you couldn't see before. You realize the heart's deepest ache is often the beginning of its most profound closeness to Allah. So tonight, when doubt weighs heavy and your soul feels lost, remember, your whisper in the darkness is not wasted. Your sincerity is not unseen. And the very act of turning, even amidst pain, is itself a victory. Even in the silence, Allah is listening. Even in the struggle, Allah is present. Even in the darkest hour, hope is quietly waiting. Now that we've felt the weight of doubt and the quiet ache of the heart, let's bring it to something real. Something you can do tonight. This isn't theory. It's not a checklist to copy blindly. It's a simple, intentional way to connect with Allah during the sacred stillness of 3 a.m. Step 1. Prepare yourself. Begin by performing wudu. Cleanse yourself physically. It's amazing how small acts of preparation calm the mind and signal to your heart that this is sacred time. Wear something comfortable. Sit in a quiet corner of your home, away from distractions. Turn off your phone. Let the world pause. Step 2. Focus your heart. Before you begin reciting, take a few deep breaths. Close your eyes. Let your thoughts settle. Acknowledge everything weighing on you, your fears, regrets, hopes. Recognize that this moment isn't about perfection, but sincerity. Step 3. Recite slowly and mindfully. Whisper La ilaha illallah 33 times. Don't rush. Feel each word. Let it roll over your tongue, but more importantly, let it resonate in your heart. Picture the words cleaning, softening, and opening the chambers of your soul. With every repetition, imagine shedding a little fear, a little worry, a little attachment that doesn't belong to Allah. Step 4. Reflect between repetitions. After each set of 33, pause, sit in silence, feel the impact. Ask yourself, what am I holding on to that isn't Allah? What do I want to release? This reflection transforms dhikr from repetition into awakening. Step 5. End with personal dua. Finally, raise your hands and speak from your heart. Don't worry about eloquence or length. Speak as you would to a friend. Only this friend is Allah. Ask for guidance, patience, light, or simply presence. Know that these words don't need to be perfect. They only need to be honest. Consistency matters more than quantity. Even 5 minutes done sincerely can leave a lasting impression on the heart. The goal isn't to finish dhikr, but to open a space where your heart can meet Allah in the stillness. Remember, the night is your witness, and your heart is the speaker. When you take these steps at 3 a.m., you are not just reciting words. You are quietly returning to the one who never left. Imagine this. You are alone in the dark. The night wraps around you like a quiet blanket. Every sound is softened. The faint hum of the city outside, the distant call of a bird, the gentle ticking of your clock, but your heart is awake, pounding softly, fully aware. You whisper, La ilaha illallah, once, then again, slowly, intentionally. The words feel different in the stillness. They are no longer sounds, they are breaths of your soul. Each repetition draws something out of you, fear, guilt, doubt. And in its place, something unseen begins to settle. Calm, light, presence. In this solitude, you realize that you have been holding on to so much. Expectations, regrets, attachments that were never meant to define you. And yet, here in the silence, all of that fades. You are not your mistakes. You're not your worries. You're simply a heart speaking to its creator. And suddenly, it hits you. This is intimacy. Not the noisy, visible kind, but the kind that wraps around your soul. The one who sees everything, knows everything, and has never turned away, he is listening. Not tomorrow, not in some distant moment, but right now. You feel small yet infinite, fragile yet unshakable. The words La ilaha illallah become more than dhikr. They become your refuge. Every whisper connects you to a presence that has always been there, patiently waiting for you to return. In this moment, nothing else exists. No fear, no judgment, no expectations, only you, your heart, and the one who never leaves. And as you sit in that quiet, you understand. This is the power of night of Dhikr, of sincerity. This is the transformation that happens when you allow your heart to speak, when you allow yourself to be fully, completely human. As the night slowly fades and the first light of dawn touches the sky, take a moment to feel what just happened in your heart. That quiet 3 a.m. whisper of La ilaha illallah is not just a ritual. It's a reminder that you are never alone, that your struggles are seen, and that your heart has a direct path to peace. Don't rush it, even if it feels small, even if it feels simple, that sincerity matters more than anything else. Tonight, set your alarm. Find a quiet corner. Speak to your heart. Speak to Allah. And when you do, notice the difference, the stillness, the clarity, the calm. It stays with you throughout the day. If this touched your heart, take it further. Try it tonight. Feel it for yourself. And share your experience, because your journey could inspire someone else to find the same peace. Stay sincere, stay present, and let your heart speak.